Onyx Storm theories and spoilers for Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. Hopefully this one isn't as divisive as the last reel I posted. I come bearing gifts. I call this my bear theory. Let me explain. A Fourth Wing chapter 35 epigraph snippet reads, he accused King Tori and all who came before him of a conspiracy so vast, so unspeakable, that it does not bear repeating by this historian. Let's jump to Onyx Storm chapter 38 page 327, where Quest Squad is forced to receive their gifts from Zahilna with gratitude. Drake draws the claw. The text reads, my heart jumps into my throat as the bear of a man marches forward from the right, huge fist swinging by his sides. A little later, Traeger accepts an arrow to the heart, which kills him and his griffin Scylla. In a messed up way, this sacrifice leads to Quest Squad's audience with the Irids. In Onyx Storm chapter 40, Quest Squad flies looking for a spot to burn Traeger, and they come across black sand beaches. After Violet splits up the squad to cover more ground, Garrick says to Xaden, just you and me today, honey bear. After a devastating meeting, far from home and exhausted, Violet decides to skip Loisum and return. Garrick points out on page 353, if you were to fly northeast for 2 days, you'd hit the cliffs of Drailer. Remember that. What is this importance of the recurring bear? It all goes back to Liam. In Fourth Wing chapter 21, we learned that the day before, Liam finished carving a bear, and the first dragon that he was working on was Day, his dragon. He later goes on to carve Tarn and Andarna for Violet. In chapter 23, it reads, I finished this for you. It's Tarn. He's even mastered his snarl. This is incredible. Thank you. Thanks. Liam gives me a grin, flashing his dimple. I wanted to carve Andarna first, but I'm not around her as much, you know? Hold that thought. In Fourth Wing chapter 31, at the reunification day party, Violet says, you are a good friend, Liam Mary. And he responds, you saved my life, Violet. The least I can do is grin and bear it. Fast forward, and a whole bunch of terrible things happen, and we lose Liam. Chapter 39, page 494, it's Xaden's POV. Violet asks, is Liam really dead? Liam, a fresh stab of sorrow pierces my ribs, heartbeats pass in silence as I try to find the right words, but there aren't any. So I take from my pocket the palm-sized freshly finished carving of Andarna Liam had been working on. I set the carving in her hand. I know I should have, but I couldn't bear to burn it. We laid him to rest yesterday. Fast forward to Iron Flame chapter 35, Liam appears to Violet when she's being tortured. You're not really here. You're a hallucination from pain and dehydration. A mirage. Maybe. Or maybe Malik sent me as a kindness. Malik doesn't do kindness, nor does he allow souls to wander about. I'm not wandering, Violet. I'm exactly where I need to be. Who does that sound like? Andarna. I will be where I am needed. Andarna, the second honor. And we know that Liam's last words were, it's been my honor. Fast forward to Onyx Storm pages 443 to 444 when they're talking to Leothin the Irid. It seems to be about the two bonds that Violet has with Tarn and Andarna. But what if Leothin is implying Andarna spoke to somebody else first? On page 444, Leothin is talking to Andarna directly. He says, humans should only be capable of bonding a single dragon, and yet you forged a second connection where there shouldn't be one. The bonds in question aren't between Violet and Tarn and Andarna. The second bond is between Andarna and Liam. He did say, I wanted to carve Andarna first, but I'm not around her as much, you know? Perhaps this is why it's repeatedly stated that Andarna can't bear another rider. Everything in this series has a double meaning. I thought I could squeeze this all into one 3-minute video, but this is one of those big reveals that I think needs its time across 2 parts. So look for part 2 of my bear theory.